A short update on the energies, November 20, 2014. We would like to take some time to delve a little bit into the expansion that is currently occurring on this planet, or rather, that is occurring in every aspect in this particular portion of the time and space continuum that you all currently constitute a small part of. In other words, this entire bubble of energetic programming that has now taken on a life of its own, if you will. For it has started to act in ways that are not at odds, but rather, is starting to fall more into sync with the rest of creation. For as so many of you are already aware of, this tiny little bubble of space-time that you define as your universe has in many ways been separated from the rest of creation, and so, no wonder so many of you have felt separated and at times even lost. For you have been living a life, or rather, playing out an existence, that differs on so many levels from what the rest of creation has been doing, and rightly so. For this bubble has been defined as a special place all the way from the very beginning, as a place of higher learning, a place where the most evolved of souls have traveled to in order to further expand their body of knowledge. That may sound counterintuitive to some of you, for when you look around you, you will find what may be described as primitive behavior acted out on all sides. But again, that has been the exact purpose of this place. For what has taken place here on Earth cannot be likened to what has been happening anywhere else, and it is all linked to the vibrational field that contains the entirety of your environment. But now, that environment is changing at such a rapid pace, it can in many ways take your breath away, as we have already referred to. For you have indeed outgrown the old curriculum, and so, the collective opted to shift into a new era, one that will be forever defined by the heightened collective energy that will ensure that the old way of learning by going ever deeper into the actions governed by fear will no longer hold true. For now, you are all set to begin to fully integrate the new energetic vibrations, the ones that will automatically reset your behavioral patterns away from the old and ever-limiting ones and over to the ever-expanding light-filled creational endeavors that will be fully fueled by love. For the old ways of learning by being exposed to an ever-increasing energetic pressure that continued to trigger more and more of the behavioral instincts fully focused on survival by allowing the impulse of fear rule your life has now come to a close, and the doors to the new world are fully opened for all those already agreeing on altering their course by aid of these newly arrived frequencies that will support your endeavors in every way. For now, you no longer need that added friction to create, for the old way of creating out of bare necessity and in order to ensure your individual survival in a very real way will be forever banished to the history books, and what will take over, is a joy-filled sense of creation that will be entirely based in the collective. In other words, a simple but profound shift from ego-based to collective-based existence, and one that will be acted out in a way that will serve to trigger all of the latent talents you have carried with you every single time you did arrive on these shores in a physical body. For we venture to guess that you have all at some time in one or several of your former incarnations on this planet felt the inner stirrings from this wondrous well of unending creativity, and you have at least tried to tap into it in some small fashion from time to time. But now, it has finally come to pass that you will all be asked to do so, and to do so with the entirety of your being. For this is no longer something you can dabble in as an amusing sideline, while at the same time trying to balance your life precariously on that same cliff of destiny that was your former way of life. No, in this, it is either all in or not at all, but again, your higher self has already chosen your choice in this, and now, the choice that was made even before you came into being in this very body that you walk around in, will begin to make itself heard, and it will do so in a way that leaves no doubts to any of you. We say this in order to remind you all that even if you still feel as if you are struggling to find your footing in these, at times rather intense energetic upheavals, you will all know in your very core that you have already taken the plunge. For this is a choice you have already taken. But it can at times be hard to listen to that inner voice underneath all of the heavy swells of energetic information, that at times like these are thundering onto your shores. So again we say make sure that you give yourself ample opportunity to simply be with yourself. For then, you will clearly hear the call from your core, the one that is already standing tall and proud out in the light, the one that has already embraced the new with every fiber of your being. For you have already arrived, But still, it may take some time before you all fully see just where you are, and so, it is indeed imperative that you do what you can in order to fully perceive what it is your inner voice is trying to tell you. For it has nothing but good news, and it cannot wait for you to get ready to take it all in. So step back and step into you. That is where all of the questions have been eradicated already, for there are no more questions there. It is all a knowing that goes beyond you, and all the way into the very core of creation itself.